Okay, ask your question again.
How do you feel about being 30?
My one wish to be 30, if there was a cake and I blow out the candles, is to go back and be 3 again. A coping mechanism or interest, I should say, that has developed out of it that I noticed is being an adult baby. Being an adult baby, or also known as ABDL, adult baby diaper lover, can be a fetish, therapy, lifestyle, hobby, art, and a lot more. I'll be using the term adult baby and ABDL interchangeably. It is exactly as it sounds. It's pretending to be a baby. The first time America had gotten acquainted with the adult baby world was on TLC's My Strange Obsession in 2011 with Stanley Thornton.
Everybody needs a bottle in the morning, but since babies can't drink coffee, I have my juice.
3 years old, it's whatever that feels right for you. I associate most with being 2 years old because I think it's the best of both worlds. You're young enough to still be able to use a crib and a bottle and diapers and all that stuff, but you're also still old enough that you can get around on your own and
There isn't much on him. After the episode aired, it was exposed he was funding his way of living through public benefits, which caused an outcry, given that on the show, he seemed capable of working. This led to an investigation, but he was cleared. I would say Stanley is an accurate representation of the adult baby world up until the point of being on benefits and perpetuating the stereotype that people with trauma can't manage themselves in the real world. Being an adult baby isn't about avoiding real-life responsibilities. Binky Princess is a big figure in the ABDL adult baby community, and arguably one of their biggest influencers. This wasn't a new concept. Unlike Binky's other notable counterparts, like Stanley of TLC, she evolved her adult baby persona gradually. I haven't seen too many people question this about her, so I'll go ahead and say it. Why she transitioned to adult baby content from what she was doing previously isn't really known. Given her online history, I think online fame brought out some serious issues in her, and turning into an adult baby was a way to balance it. She could keep her career online in the fetish world and cope with the traumas that became a bigger presence in her life. Binky Princess, who I will refer to as Jess, got famous on Tumblr and YouNow. I don't have an exact timeline of when all of her online drama happened. It was just mid to late 2010s. On Tumblr, she was known for Kitten Play. Kitten Play is an offset of the furry community. Kitten Play, at least the kind Jess was using, is less about inhabiting the characteristics of kitten and using kitten characteristics to decorate your sexuality. Jess's Tumblr was the definition of early 2010s kawaii, and she definitely took a lot of styling from anime. I think a huge attraction to her is while she was participating in a niche kink community, it didn't look so, not at first glance at least. She managed to make her aesthetic of kink so anime-like, it didn't come off as intimidating or as perceivably weird as the community normally does. In fact, because there weren't many other people doing what Jess did, she really cultivated the community. She invented something called the Chateau, which was an invite community for kitten play. Towards the end of her Tumblr days, she had transitioned to adult baby play, but this was keeping the cutesy kawaii aesthetic, so again, not as off-putting as it normally would. Jess had always had a troubled childhood, and she had a lot of trauma. Although her brand wasn't about her trauma, I don't think she was very good at keeping her personal trauma and drama out of her online presence. Anonymous. Wow, holy shit, I watched your stream for 5 minutes and had to turn it off. You were being so rude. I get that you're hurting and going through a lot, but acting like such a huge fucking bitch isn't going to help. Like, holy shit, I just lost so much respect for you. Seeing you live and how you act normally revealed your true colors a lot. Answer. Everyone knows I normally am very nice and lively. People shouldn't be judged on how they act at a low point, and my true fans understand that. I also mentioned in my stream that I was sorry for my attitude and to try to understand that I can't really be full of sunshine talking about it. Although she wasn't someone who lashed out on her stream, she was very easily triggered, and her transition to adult baby content wasn't well received by her OG fans, though she did continue to grow a following past Tumblr, which is rare. I do think the fact this new online identity, which definitely was a core piece of her offline life, not being taken very well, really struck a nerve with her. And while I think she was always controversial, so began a kind of controversy that is only going to draw viewers that hate her, with maybe a core audience that supports her, so it wouldn't look like she had any real fans. We've actually seen this before. The other thing I don't think gets talked about is why her reputation soured when she transitioned from kitten play to the adult baby life, and how the latter is considered less innocent. That seems like a very dumb thing to say. Nothing about Jess's online presence, kitten or baby related, was innocent. Even the kitten stuff was very racy. Because she fashioned her kitten play to be so much like anime, something more mainstream, she managed to gain fans, and doing YouNow humanized her more. So kind of like a behind the scenes of a fantasy. It passed as someone just doing regular forms of content with maybe an erotic edge. But kawaii aesthetic is already cute and babyish, so adding a real baby element to it makes the fetish part more obvious, and makes the kawaii maybe seem like a cheap parody. I knew her personally before she became an internet personality. She's always been a textbook narcissist who blames her shitty behavior on mental illness but takes no effort to get help. She was abusive towards her grandmother, she cheated on David even when they were engaged, and shit-talked him behind his back constantly while they were together. He wasn't perfect either. He was a drug addict who also cheated and was abusive as well. They were both toxic. She abuses Stefan and her animals as well, constantly screaming, using insults. She shit-talks everyone behind their back, but loses it anytime people try to open up about the way she makes them feel. She's selfish, manipulative, and all around just someone to avoid. I don't really care if people don't believe me on this. I just thought I'd share what I know from experience. Binky/Jess, if you read this, I hope that you'll find peace and get the therapy you need to become a better person. Trauma and mental illness is not an excuse for abusive behavior, ever. It's interesting because she wasn't the only adult baby star, and even though she was later in the game, I think all the online drama she had with her boyfriends was what made her stand out and get the attention of Barcroft, which is now Truly.
I only pee in them.
So there's another major contrast between kitten play and adult baby play that really Jess's reputation. However, unlike kitten play, baby play involves more closely a master of sorts, and adult baby isn't complete without someone who is to act as their parents. This is when their love interests become more public, and more of her dysfunction was dragged out and aired. Dysfunction that was loosely hinted during her kitten play days, but became more blatant. It's interesting the Barcroft documentary featured David, because while yes, he was a major role in her public romantic life, he wasn't as big a presence as her real daddy partner, Stefan Parker, or Stevop. Stefan had been online for a while. He's been on YouTube dating back to the early years of the platform. How he and Jess met, I'm not sure. They were on again and off again, and when they were off, they weren't just off, they were pitch black. But when they were on, they were kind of venturing into couples vlogging and lifestyle content, which again contrasts with the daddy adult baby thing they did. Both of them had a lot of videos on each other, but it looks like most of that content has been taken down. These dumbasses got DDLG couples tattoos on their wrists after only being together for a few months. I mean, I think we'd all be shocked if we saw the person making these. Daddy and I are about to fuck in my little baby asshole. Drunk as fuck, dancing in lingerie for daddy and giving lap dances, about to use my new glass wand in my princess part in front of him. I'm drunk and all I want to do is give lap dances to daddy and suck on his dick. So far, daddy has put a pacifier, dildo, vacuum tube, and screwdriver up me, to be continued. Daddy put a pacifier in my little pussy and now he's finding random things to put in there, hee hee. Was also doing sweet content like this. So in terms of picking a team, no one comes out a winner, and I'll give both sides. Stefan was accused of using Jess and persuaded her to do porn as an easy way of making money, since all they had to do was act out their relationship. If he wanted YouTube to be his full-time job/career, he should have put more effort into it, honestly. Pumping out one video a week isn't enough. It's good that he's been making more content the last few weeks, but your YouTube is hard. You need to have a lot of drive to plan out videos, record, edit, upload regularly. There's a reason some of the biggest YouTubers almost every day. He literally had all the time in the world for a year to work on his channel. What was he doing all day? I know a little bit about Stephen Parker, or whatever his name is, my friend, and I followed his old relationship because it was so cringy. Basically, he was in a DDLG relationship with this hero addict named Tori, aka One Pasty Princess on IG, and Spooky Bunny on Twitter. They broke up a lot. She claimed he beat her, deleted all her social media, made a new Tumblr chronicling the abuse, posted pics of her black eye. They got back together. She left Stefan. He made a 10-part video on her calling her a cheater and a heroin addict. They broke up and got back together 20 times in like a month. So yes, sage for it to it, but just to give you an idea of what the fucking weird dramatic relationship he was in previously. Submission. It amazes me how all his fangirls claim he's sweet, kind, and nice, when in reality 90% of his blog is filled with mentions of suicide and self-harm and depression-related things, and he has claims against him of abuse. He shows what he wants you all to see, and none of you know him personally. Answer. I know this is very biased, so I'm gonna say it. I think Jess probably has no idea who he truly is. He seems like the kind of guy who just coddles you because he enjoys being needed. I know this is Stefan's opinion blog, but it's been on my mind. As for Jess, she wasn't always given the poor victim edit as well. Jess talked about being sexually assaulted by her father. Submission. Why did Jess get a tattoo to commemorate her dad when he raped her? I can't speak for her, but she has openly talked about him. She doesn't let her experience rule her. I don't want to say she forgives him, but she doesn't seem to hold hatred. No one accused her of lying, but her behavior to her sexual assault was strange, as she mentioned a close relationship with him. Happy Father's Day. I don't really have much to say. I don't every year. This year has been closer than any of them since I was a small child. This is the longest I've stayed in contact with you and the most effort I've put into having a relationship with you. This year is the first I said I love you since I was a kid. I forgive your mistakes. I forgive the things you don't have the strength to say. I love you no matter what has happened or will happen. I hope that we can actually find a way to be close and have some sort of family, because I think it's something we both need. Putting aside my feelings and repressed issues has been the biggest obstacle to overcome while having you present in my life, but I'm confident that I will grow and heal with you around. We will see. That's all I can say. No one was invalidating her feelings, but also it brings to question why she maintained a close relationship with him, even coming off as forgiving him. It really brought up a lot of questions she never bothered answering. It also brings to question if her baby content is related, but there's another wonder we're never going to get an answer to. I wouldn't say Jess came off as inauthentic, but I think the frustration with her was she spewed a lot of herself without having everything thought out first. While yeah, no one likes Stefan, when she fought back against him publicly, she wasn't doing herself any favors. No one ever stopped to consider that she could be the abusive one. Everyone hopped on the victim train. Sometimes things are not what they seem, and people will try to change the way things are to maintain innocence and validity. That's what happened here to Stefan. It's so upsetting and dangerous to tell someone that they aren't valid in coming out with their abuse. That forces people to silence and ignoring the truth, especially men. Women can abuse men, fucking Christ. Victims can lie. She's not innocent. You may think we shouldn't be posting about this, but she opened the door. And there was a lot of accusations Jess was abusive. What the actual fuck is her problem? The possessiveness of her BF isn't cute. It's really gross. My mom's ex was like that, and she would also threaten to stab him and scream at him if he didn't buy her shit. She was a huge gold digger and also cheated on him and attacked me when we started dating, claiming I was copying her for liking kitten play and pink hair. Just reminds me of that girl.
It's interesting. I wondered how much about this ended up online without any original piece of content to reference. Jess ran a private website for members for a while, so she might have spewed a lot there.
It's sad. 8 years gone is sad. How could it not be? It's all I knew since middle school. We built a foundation based on history, long phone calls, defeating distance, enduring hardships, and love in both friendship and companionship. If you think for 1 second that this experience has been easy for me, you are dead wrong. How do you end something like that? How do you say? How do you stick to it? How do you watch it all crumble from a few words? I don't want to do this anymore. How do you cope with the pain and memories and the empty house? The sense and the piercing quiet, while there was once laughter and favorite shows and calling out our names The answer is I don't know. I don't know how you do it. But sometimes you have to, because it's not always laughter. It's not always calling out to each other. It's not always watching favorite shows. It's not always feeling comforted by the same familiar scent of their clothes. Sometimes it's not right. Sometimes you try so hard for so long and it runs out. Sometimes you don't want to put in the effort anymore. Sometimes you're tired. I was tired. I was not happy. I was comfortable. It was familiar. It was easy to be complacent, but should I settle for complacency when I could have happiness? It doesn't happen at all once. I didn't wake up one morning and decided I was done. I didn't wake up one morning and decided to not be in love. I didn't wake up one morning and decided to change my entire life as I know it for so long. To abandon my comfort, it was gradual. I felt it fading. It happens, guys. Sometimes it doesn't, but it does. Now, because I don't care, not because I gave up, not because I found something better, but because I love myself, and I can't just put myself through the things I used to. I can't just say okay anymore. I have to make changes. They have to be big. They have to flip me upside down. They had to hurt so I could stop hurting. I know this is all so vague, but I don't feel right going into detail about someone I've spent a quarter of my life with. In the end, we grew apart. We stopped communicating. I didn't want to try. He didn't want to make me. We got worn down. We made a valid effort for years. There was just too much between that made it feel bleak. At least for me. Ultimately, I hope this helps us grow. I hope he can find happiness and joy and excitement and adventure. I hope he can get out of this shit city. I hope he can pursue his dreams. I hope he doesn't ever get held back. I hope he makes good decisions. I hope he seems positive. I won't be there to see these things, but I like to manage them. As for me, I just want to be happy. I want to find myself outside of the things I thought made me who I was, without influence. I want to grow. I want to live life fully and totally. I feel a breath of fresh air. It's always okay. Every day is a new day for a new hope and new chances. I'm grateful for my time I spent growing with him. I would never take it back. We taught each other a lot about ourselves and life and love, and I wouldn't be the person I am told today without him, but it's time for me to start a new chapter, learn new things about myself, and become an even better version of.
I also guess she was active on Snapchat, which those disappear in 24 hours, so I can't recover that. And she also had a lot of friends that turned on her. In fact, Jess was known for treating friends in her community quite badly. She has the same tattoos as Binky as proof. She posted this on her Insta story, but this was from last year. She allegedly seen Binky verbally degrade and smack Steven aside from the head, but he kept being in his shell like a turtle and didn't do anything. She also said they both got their tattoos in a sketchy place that was attached to a gas station. During when she was on a cam show with her on Binky's birthday week, she got way more attention and that got her jealous. Binky was not respecting Pink Doll's limit when it came to how hard Binky was smacking her ass with a paddleboard. Pink Doll gave Binky a birthday and tossed it and didn't even bother opening it. They barely had any food in the house, and all they had was McDonald's one time, so she was starving and asked for another friend who lives in Florida to come pick them up so they can get away for a bit because Pink Doll was having an anxiety attack. It's interesting that with all of Jess and Stefan's drama, David would end up in the Barcroft documentary. Jess actually spoke out against it. I haven't been able to find a thread on Jess, and I hate to be the bitch who's like, her can't believe there isn't thread on this person, but yeah, I can't believe it. Jess is 21, I believe, and is an H player, ABDL, and a little. She has been on YouTube for a while and goes by Binky Princess. She blew up after Barcroft made a documentary about her for Extreme Love series focusing on the fact she's an adult baby and the fact her BF looks like he wants to kill himself. She came out with a 20-minute rebuttal to the documentary saying they betrayed her incorrectly and basically bitching that people disagree with their lifestyle. She made a massive point before saying that there was nothing sexual about her age play, but recently started making age play porn with her BF and a few others. This can be seen as on Clips for Sale, but she recently made her own website for it. I'm talking masturbating a diaper. She is pissed in giving her BF a hand job while she pretends to be a teddy bear. Daddy gives me cummies type of thing. It's adamant there's nothing wrong with what she's doing. It's interesting David would end up in the Barcroft documentary. I couldn't find much on David. I think they were together for a short period of time while she was separated from Stefan. Too true. At least then there was some hope he could relax her out of it. Now he's just being enabled. So we know that David was literally good doing heroin, but Stefan had spoken openly before about how drugs disgust him. Does anyone know if Jess used with David? Because she sure looks like no stranger to it, wondering if it's something she'll still do. David actually had an arrest record, but still he was considered to be better than Stefan. Submission. Please don't hate me for saying this, but this is just my opinion. I honestly felt like she was truly herself when she was with David. To me, she seemed happy and wasn't all over the place like she is now with Stefan. IDK, I always felt like something is extremely off about Stefan, and I'm not sure what it is, but to me, she's trying to be something or someone that she's not and trying to act like she's interested in the same thing she's interested in. I'm not hating, it's just she's not herself anymore. Clearly, romantic relationships and their involvements in her baby lifestyle played a big role. The same applied for Stanley. Stanley had a hired mommy person named Evadne.
Over the past 4 years, other adult babies.
You're trying to get me.
It makes me wonder if people can sustain the adult baby lifestyle without a pretend parent. Because it's not just about being young and innocent, but being able to attract the affection of someone unconditionally, to avoid judgment and never be at fault for doing anything wrong. If you are at an age which you can't know any better,